just landed and I am in a gorgeous hotel. I'm gonna give them my things and then head to the conference. This is Dr. Moss, PGY1 Psychiatry resident. I'm also the chief resident for wellness. So, of course, I had to go to the Mind and Body, got my coffee, where people are doing some beautiful art about how to stay strong. So doing artwork. It actually looks like it's out of wood. And then massages, first come, first serve. And foot massages because it is so tiring to do these conferences. So one of my addictions is reading. My husband knows I'll get all these books and we have no room for extra books. I am so excited to show you all that I got. I was like, I'm gonna try really hard not to get as many books and not even bring a second bag, because I know if I had a huge second bag, I would get tons of books. But then Dr. Stahl was there and signing things, so I caved. But, oh my goodness, like, this is embarrassing. I thought this said CPTSD because I was so amazed that Dr. Stahl was there signing, so I had him sign. And then after he signed, I realized it said complex treatment-resistant psychotic disorders, so I will now be learning about that. It's officially signed and everything. To Stephanie, best wishes. So that was really cute. I saw these in med school. This is Dr. Stahl's illustrated books. I am in love with these. I'm going to bring these with my patients to explain my interest, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, because I have a chronic pain condition, endometriosis, and then I also have PTSD and anxiety, so obviously my favorite thing to talk to my patients about. I'll be using these two books. I've had multiple patients with eating disorders and OCD, so comorbid. I did a case report for IPS with one of my co-residents. I might actually do another case report on this other patient I had, male patient with anorexia, OCD. So that was really interesting. So excited to use this book on how to help this patient. I don't know if you recognize this book. There's one for girls and one for boys. This is how I learned about puberty when I was in middle school. So the body book for girls, so now that they have a 2021 version, I was like, I need to get this because I might go into child and adolescent psych. So I have one body book for girls, body book for boys. I love books. If you didn't know, a lot of my patients, well, they're anxious and I see them like either have like ADHD traits or just are anxious, picking at their nails or their skin. I have them do a squish ball. This is a brain, so I had to do that. And then also a little game because kids and adults are more open if they're fidgeting. So this was a really cool game, like basketball. Ooh, yeah. I don't know if you saw that. I'll see if I can do it again. Oh no, you can't see it. Anyway, I know my husband also liked this, in addition to my patients. I love conferences because you get to really meet people that you've already maybe connected on social media, or if you've been listening to their podcasts. For example, I got to meet in real life, IRL, Dr. Jessie Gold. I interviewed her for the podcast and she is amazing. Make sure you check out that episode. She's a wellness director in Tennessee. She helped so many people while they were in residency and medical school and during COVID, taking care of others while handling burnout herself.
Like, what does that mean? If I don't show up, somebody else can't see them, and that's like how you feel. And I have this interesting job where I'm seeing patients who are struggling with the same thing as me at the same time. So I'm like, hey, I'm good, you're bad, let's talk about it. And I think a lot of us do this, and I tell you this not to say that I'm different, but that what I experienced was pretty common. And a lot of that is just because what burnout actually is, right? Like, you're gonna go to a million talks on this because there are always a million talks on this, but The way I think about it, I just put in the context of our own experience, which I think matters. I could tell you over and over that burnout's a workplace-associated condition made up of those three things, right? But point me to someone that does what we do who's not emotionally exhausted. Point me to someone else who didn't learn to survive our job by depersonalizing, removing yourself. No, there's literally no one. That's what they taught us to do. And then the last one, a sense of personal accomplishment, is the one where people show up in my office.
I also met Chase, an amazing Black queer physician who is doing amazing work. Who else did I meet? Oh my goodness, a psych podcast. Like, the podcast host randomly came up to me and was like, "Thank you for talking about my podcast." I'm like, oh my God, I literally was just listening to their TMS episode on the plane. How is that possible? I randomly met psychiatry residents at SIU. I say random because we sat on the plane right next to each other. Not planned, but we did an Uber together. So make sure you do Uber share, Lyft shares. That's a big way to save money. Yeah, a network. There's so much free food, so ways to get free food at the conferences, like lattes and empanadas. Make sure you stay on those group chats, eyes everywhere. That's how you get to know. But also, it's okay to splurge. I met for dinner. I went out with some friends from the Repro Psych group, which I got to know a little bit in medical school, so I got to meet them in real life. We went to Mahi Mahi Tacos. I also got an amazing tamarindo margarita. Yeah, amazing. Whew. I'm tired. I'm going to take care of my own health like we always advocate and talk about. Make sure I use this, put this away. Definitely want to relax, enjoy, so I can be refreshed for tomorrow, because that is so important. And maybe I'll read some of my new books. But anyway, I'll be back for recap day 2.
So what was your poster about? Our poster was on leave of absence and underrepresented medical students. We found correlations with females being mostly as our first gender race. That ended up significantly. And even just like about 2/3 were first up exam.
Were there leave of absence also related to having children during medical school?
So I believe it was around 2/3 that were academic and the other third were personal. Like outliers when it came to research and such, but it was mostly academic and personal, which was interesting. We surveyed for language, and that wasn't one of the top contenders. The correlations, it was first gen, disability or chronic illness status, and it was around 40% that had ADHD. So I went quickly back to my hotel after the residency fair, which I was so excited to meet so many medical students, and a lot of my co-residents even came and could talk to people. So that was really fun. So thank you everyone who came out. I went back to my room to lay down. I was exhausted, so it was nice to just go back, relax. I changed, got some food, and now I can finish off my conference before I head home and go my last 2 weeks of inpatient psychiatry. I'm going to go to Illinois Psychiatric Association, and my chair is going to be there. Her name's Dr. Gunther, and she's amazing. Can't wait to see everyone. Okay, I am back in Chicago from a conference, and I am prioritizing my wellness and charging my phone before I take the train at home from the airport. This is how I'm doing because it's really important to get blood flow through the legs. I was wearing my sports stockings. I used a lot during my surgery rotation. I haven't used it in a long time. That is helpful for lymphatic flow, for hopefully, obviously don't have blood clots, but if I did, that would help for sitting for long periods of time. Also, conference walking. I wish I did the massages. I got too distracted talking to all the medical students doing a medical student there, which I spoke with so many medical students. So thank you if you stopped by. I was really happy that my co-residents even stopped by to talk to people. So we had like me, PGY 1, 2, 3, and 4. So amazing. I don't think anyone else had like residents from what I heard. It was just administrators. Hopefully that was helpful. Okay, I've been to this airport multiple times. I've lived here for 5 years, but this is confusing. Thankfully, I do know the blue line. We used to take blue line all the time so we could go to Rush. Okay, so on the blue line, which is, I was just reflecting back to the past 5 years, we lived right off the blue line. The blue line goes from the airport to Rush, so it was perfect. I actually know this blue line quite a bit. This time I'm going to transfer to a bus, which then goes for downtown apartments. So only living there for a little bit because heard about student loans, maybe most likely starting to have to pay them. So we're going to move to a cheaper place. That's also why I didn't post the second half of my student loans video. If you haven't seen that, see the first half. It's the only one I did because all the stuff we said about student loan forgiveness, all that amazing stuff. Bye-bye. Okay, I will do a reflection on my AP experience. I've been sitting for so long. I decided to just walk home, even though I'm exhausted. It just almost feels like a 24-hour call. Minus, I did get to sleep, so a really good call day. Actually, thinking about it, I think I got probably as many hours of sleep that I do on a pretty good call day. That probably went to sleep at like 11 p.m., woke up at 2, 3 a.m. No, I slept less than a good call day. Let's see if I get in a quiet area and I can share some things about APA. Side note, as I'm walking past the side gates, which, yes, I live near there. They're beautiful purple flowers, and a random older lady was like, I love your purple. So I was like, thanks, of like flowers. But anyway, stay focused. I'm gonna miss this area. It's so nice to just walk. Now, I don't know if I'll walk after this. I want to walk eclipse my shepherd, but probably later because I need to sleep. And the place that we're going is also going to be near the lake, not as close. We'll be near nature, which we love, near the Chicago Botanic Gardens, which we also love. So really emphasizing wellness for ourselves. I'll be right next to the Botanic Gardens. I'm going to make it part of our wellness thing to encourage medical students and residents to go to the free days of Botanic Gardens, because being with nature in the sunlight, vitamin D, and then also community of people where we can connect, empathize with each other, share difficult patient stories, fun patient stories, like that is wellness. It's not just receiving pizza. That's not wellness. Anyone can do that. Just giving people pizzas. I do the path over there right next to the lake all the many mornings. Such a cute little bird. My husband loves birds. Also Dr. Moss, Dr. Jonah Moss, a neurology resident. Anyway, distracted. Although, beautiful flowers. Oh, okay. I met so many content creators, which really inspired me. Other psychiatry podcasters, writers, book authors, social media. So it was really great to connect with them, learn from them. One day I currently aspire to be like them, to make a difference in individuals' lives. I'm so thankful to so many of you all that met me at the APA and told me how inspiring my journey or my podcast episodes have been, sharing other medical students, other residents, doctors, showing their humanity medicine. So thank you so much. Keep those comments coming. It's so helpful to share and to try to change the culture of medicine, that we're not alone. Struggle is part of the experience of medicine. Sorry, I keep switching because my hand gets tired. I almost feel like a med student or an undergrad with all my books on my backpack. Anyway, what other things about APA? There were times that I knew my body and was like, I'm not going to do all day, like half extroverted, half introverted. So I needed time to get away in the hotel. I skipped one of the ones I really wanted to go to on PTSD. However, that's why I bought the recording, so I can see the recordings after. That was helpful. But yeah, went back to the room, had some medicine, relax, and then had the energy to go meet up with individuals, my co-residents, medical students. So that was much needed break. Oh, and my chair of the department and attending was there. We had a whole group. Medical students said how much they can see the community that we have with each other, that we value each other's company outside of work. That was great to hear externally. Internally, I know it's real and not fake, but it's cool to see how someone else looks from the outside in and sees how I was only first year, unfortunately. Some of my co-residents didn't get posters in time. We will make sure that doesn't happen next year. I'm by the Pritzker Pavilion. I feel like you're getting a Chicago tour also. Yes, the APA was amazing. I had been there last year as a graduating medical student, an almost PGY1, incoming PGY1. Now I was an official PGY1, almost PGY2, and a chief resident. So that was amazing. This conference was a lot about meeting people in person that I've connected with on social media through my medical student research group on mental health. So seeing them present the poster on leave of absence, there's some big news. Make sure, definitely see the leave of absence videos that I've created before. That was on my experience and the survey I did originally. Now we expanded it. And so we actually got graphics being like, who specifically takes leaves of absences? What's their race? What's their gender? What's their economic background? Their identity? So many big things. My med students presented it at the Hispanic Psychiatric Conference and then also APA tonight, actually. Unfortunately, couldn't go because I have to work out inpatient tomorrow. And we only get 5 educational days. And if you remember, 4 of them were for step 3, which I failed. So I only had 1 day left of academic day. So I took today, which was really traveling day. Thing. We were talking about leave of absence surveys. They did way more demographics. We're going to be publishing the results. I connected with a PGY2 resident and 2 attending psychiatrists from another Navy residency program in another state. They had a phenomenal talk on shame and how shame is prevalent in medicine, which I 100,000% agree. That's why I talk about leaves of absences and failure in step 1, because people feel like they need to hide because it's looked down upon. And when they hide, they feel alone. It can increase cortisol. It can lead people to have mental health conditions, even if they didn't have mental conditions before. Failing an exam or having to take an LOA or anything like that. People are struggling and actually can become suicidal. There's an increased chance of them becoming suicidal because their entire life purpose is being taken away when they fail or when they're being sent away from medical school. So I'm so excited to share those results. Keep your eye out for my next Doximity article, my second to last Doximity article as a fellow. I will be talking about this specifically. Shame in medicine and why I share my story and why we should keep sharing stories and why we shouldn't keep having so much a shame culture in medicine, because people are human. Medical education, we need to change this in the fact that mistakes are just part of education. In order to be an educational system, we have to not encourage mistakes, but normalize them, that they exist, and talk about them with empathy and learning instead of guilt and shame and disgrace. So keep an eye out for that Doximity article. I'm also thinking of combining that research we did in the shame research and presenting at a future conference. So many ideas, you know me, already doing too many things. And I already created a list of things I'm not doing. And then what do I do at this conference? I find amazing people that I want to interview. I invite them to interview. I was really inspired in doing narrative medicine, which they also talked about how important it is to use writing to express our emotions, especially when we have something on our mind, a difficult patient encounter, a mistake you did, a mistake you saw, a difficulty that you've seen sexism or racism or any of the isms in medicine to yourself or to others. Write about it. How it is so impactful to help you grow from that experience and take that from the fight or flight response to actually do something, become an advocate, do change. So anyway, I feel like I've said so many things in this video, so I hope they've been helpful. Please, in the comments, if you have any questions on APA, if you should go to the conference, about residency, put in the comments. I hope to all see you next time. Make sure you subscribe to Life as Patient Doctor or Dr. Moss on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Just wanted to give a quick update. This will probably be the last time you hear from me or see me for a couple months. I am going to retake step 3, so send me all the positive vibes. I will not be helping people with their applications because I'm working really hard to just focus on step 3 because that's what my challenge is, focusing on things that are most important. If you do need help with your applications, I have included all my personal statements, my full application, a Residency workbook from helping out a lot of medical students over the past couple of years, and IMGs. I really hope that helps you. And hopefully I'll be done with step 3 soon, and then I'll help with residency interviews because I helped with ranking them last year with my program, both from previous episodes and on my website. You can purchase a full list of pre-recorded interviews, so hopefully that helps you, and good luck, everyone. I'll see you in season 2 when I am done and past step 3. Take care.